So this is the 2023 to 2024 co-presidential candidate elections interview with the Hill News. This will be posted on Hill News social media and will be available to all Hill community members to view. So first of all, welcome. Please introduce yourself a little bit. What are your strong suits? What form are you in? How long have you been here at Hill? Basic informations.
Well, thank you for interviewing us today, Jason. I'm Xander Hoishik. I'm a fifth form day student from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. I've been at Hill. This is my third year now, and love this place. I've had a great time here so far, and I'm honored and humbled at the opportunity to run for SGA co-president, and really looking forward to continuing the campaign and the debate coming up.
Hello, I'm Evan's son, a boarding student from Shanghai, and I'm a 3-year boarding student here at the Hill School. And despite the challenges that we've had in the past few years, whether it be COVID or other changes that we've made, the Hill School is a great place for our community is one of a kind.
So I'm well versed academically, and I pride myself in my academics. I'm STEM based, but I love all aspects. I love the humanities, and as well as some of the research opportunities I've been provided by the school. I'm also a musician. I play guitar, bass, and a little bit of piano. And I love the music community here at Hill. I like having fun with the co-curriculars. I play rec squash. It's shout out Mr. Cardwell. We have some fun times there. And like hanging out with friends around campus, and the atmosphere outside of the academic day. And I think it's great that we can live and have fun in the same place we work.
So for me, similarly to Xander, I'm a musician as well. I play a variety of different instruments and enjoy the music community here at Hill, whether it be Xander or other musicians. I'm also a big golfer, part of the varsity golf team, and I enjoy playing with friends, whether it's on the golf team or off the golf team. Playing golf on the weekends and matches, just anytime.
Awesome. So first question of the day, why do you want to run for the SGA?
So we want to run for SGA because we want to give something back to this place that's given so much to us. I've known about Hill since I was real little, being from the area. We've driven past it, and I've always known it to be the prestigious institution that it is. And once I arrived here at Hill and was welcomed by the presidents my third form year, Andrew and Sasha, I was in awe by the position and the responsibility and the honor that the SGA co-presidents had, and how professional they were, how capable they were to be able to lead, and it really inspire and uplift the entire student body. And I thought to myself, even as a third former, what an amazing opportunity that would be to be able to run for SGA and lead the school in that manner. So I decided earlier this year, and I'd been contemplating the idea for my entire time at Hill, that I'd like to step up and I'd like to lead the school by example, and I'd like to guide my peers and ensure that I could leave the school in the best hands possible. Which is why I'd like to do it, and I'd like to take on the responsibility of leading the school, and being able to help the community members and dedicate my time and effort to giving back to the community and to help it navigate any challenges and opportunities that may come its way.
So when I first arrived at Hill, just like Xander said, Andrew and Sasha were a big part of why I believed Hill was such a great community. Whether it be the teachers or the students, it's just an amazing community that I wasn't able to find at any other high schools that I visited. And my freshman year, I I made the decision to run for our forum senators, SGA senators, but unfortunately I did not win. And a big reason to that, I believe, was because I wasn't involved in the community as much as I should have. So in the next few years, I told myself I was going to get in the community and understand what made Hill Hill. And this year I'm planning to run for SGA with Xander because I feel like we work together the best, and I think we can make changes and make Hill what I believe Hill should be.
Great. What have you learned from observing previous SGA leadership? And is there anything in particular that you plan to approach similarly or differently?
So, my third form year SGA co-presidents, Andrew Kierleeson and Sasha Mayfeld, really inspired me. I think really set a great example for what SGA co-presidents should be. They were always professional and always showed how much they cared about the school. I looked at them as sort of our fearless leaders. And I remember third form convocation. I was sitting right here in the headmaster's garden, and I was watching convocation on a big screen, and I saw Andrew and Sasha get up to address the entire school. And they did so in a manner that truly showed how much they cared for the community. And I didn't quite understand what all the excitement and build-up around convocation was. But once I experienced it and experienced the sense of community that was instilled by both of them, I truly realized how special of a place Hill is and how special the SGA co-presidents are. I think they were great examples for how leadership should be at Hill. So jumping off from what Andrew and Sasha did freshman year, I think Evan and I would both really like to address the community more and build connections with every member of the community more. More public appearances, more town halls, so we can really directly address every one of the students. And I think we'd also like to better prepare for how we address the community and make sure that what we are putting on, the speeches we're putting on, the addresses we put together, really embody everything the school stands for. We'd like to pay a lot closer attention to the words we use to ensure that we can instill the maximum sense of community possible, and really highlight and show off what makes Hill the family boarding school, and what brings us all closer together, because what this place stands for is truly unique and truly very special, and I'd like to emphasize that as much as I possibly can as the leader of the school.
In your eyes, what are the most pressing issues which currently face SGA?
Pressing issues? We have 6 points that we'd really like to address next year as co-presidents of the SGA. Firstly, I think the biggest matter that we'd like to address is the change in the head of the school, and I believe it is crucial for us as SGA co-presidents to be the bridge between Ms. Devaney and the student body, and make sure that the student body the student body clearly understands the changes that we as a community are prepared to make under new leadership. Secondly, we'd like to address the issue of transparency. We both believe that the current SGA co-presidents are doing a wonderful job of leading our school, but there's one thing we believe we can improve on top of that, which is transparency. We, as students, part of the student body, we don't exactly know what the SGA does, and next year we plan on making that more transparent to the students, so that we can work more effectively with the student body, along with the faculty as well.
We'd also like to address the change that's been occurring, the greatly positive change that's been occurring within the day student community at Hill. This year has been very different from the past 2 years, and that day students have finally realized that it's okay to come to campus now during their free time and over weekends, which is how it used to be at Hill before COVID. Unfortunately, due to the necessary safety precautions the school had to take, the day student community wasn't always able to be as active as they were on campus. And since those restrictions were lifted, not all the day students realized how accessible Hill was to them during their leisure time. And as a day student prefect, that's something I've witnessed firsthand, is this third form class this year has been taking advantage of the opportunities that Hill offers them to be on campus outside of the academic day. And I think that that it's important we work to embrace that change as the Student Government Association, and make sure that day students fully realize the opportunities they have to be on campus, and ensure that we can continue fostering that day student experience here at Hill in a positive manner.
Okay. Well, the next question is identify deficit within the role of co-president. How do you plan to perform this role?
Another aspect is the schedule. A lot of the student population, the schedule has been tough on students as well as teachers, and we think that something we should do as SGA co-presidents is communicate effectively with the higher ups who are in charge of making the schedule next year, and make sure that the students have the schedule benefits both students and teachers more. There are a lot of changes in the schedule right now, including many modified days that not only stress students out but also teachers, and I believe we can more effectively communicate that with the student body.
To help increase transparency between the student body and the SGA, we'd like to implement a website where all proposals can be clearly accessed by the student body, and we'd also like to work better with the forum representatives to communicate more clearly what exactly the SGA is doing and working on, to ensure that students best know how the SGA is serving their interests.
Next question. The school is going through a major change in leadership next year. What are some specific policies or initiatives which you hope to incorporate with Ms. Devaney?
So there's two main policies we'd like to incorporate to ensure that we can make the transition of head of school as smooth as we possibly can. The first of which is organizing town halls where various community members can be present to have direct access to communicating with Ms. Devaney, and getting to know her better, and also allowing her to get to better know the students better. Sorry, that wording was terrible. So town halls to allow Ms. Devaney to get to know the students better, which we believe is important to making sure a smooth transition is possible. And we'd also like to appoint, as our second main policy is to appoint a specific representative who can be in direct communication with Ms. Devaney to ensure that her transition can be as smooth as possible, more as a means to answer any of the questions she may have of the students, which I'm sure she will have questions coming in about student life and what the students like about Hill, and what they'd like to see change around here, or what they think could be improved upon. So we'd like to organize better communication between individual students as well as student organizations through town halls. We'd like to appoint a specific representative for Ms. Devaney so that she can as easily and as effectively communicate with the student body as a whole through SGA, to ensure that her transition is as seamless as possible, and that there's maximum understanding between the students and her of what Hill has to offer, and the opportunities that could come for Hill.
Identify a weakness in yourself and as a pair in leadership. How do you plan to overcome this?
So I believe one weakness that we have is that we like to, whenever we think of an idea, we'd like to implement that idea immediately. And I feel like that would be something that would be a weakness as SGA co-presidents. Once we think of an idea, we just want to implement that proposal immediately. And one thing that we think could help us overcome this weakness is through having a committee or communicating with the different student organizations, communicating with the faculty to have like a second group that can check on what we're doing. Through a committee or through communicating with different clubs and organizations, this can limit our power and like our quick decision making, which I believe may cause more harm than good.
Yeah, we like to get things done, simply put, and through our communication with the community, any concerns brought up, we'd like to address immediately, because we don't see any value in waiting it out and dragging everything through a long bureaucratic process. And I think if we're able to successfully work with our peers and the faculty members to ensure that we know the decisions we're making, that's a great mindset to have. We'd like to make sure, though, that we get all the second opinions necessary, and we're taking the steps necessary to ensure that that happens.
So I believe my personal weakness, one weakness I have, is that I don't communicate clearly sometimes, and to overcome that, I believe Xander's one of the best talkers on campus, and I think he can effectively communicate in aspects where I struggle in.
For me, I've always found being a day student has been the best choice for me, and I've had a great experience, but it's in part limited my ability to fully experience what life is like as a boarding student, which is the majority of our population here. And that's one of the reasons I chose Evan as my running mate, because he offers the experience of an international boarding student who is possibly in the role most different to a day student at Hill. So it really allows us to cover both of those aspects, ensure that we can properly provide a platform for all of the voices at Hill.
Awesome. These are great. So we got a last fun question for you guys. What is the best piece in a bag of Chex Mix?
Best piece in a bag of Chex Mix. Quite the question.
Fake laugh.
I'm gonna have to keep it original and go with the Chex. Can't get better than the original Chex. Yeah, I'm keeping an OG. Go with the Chex.
I'm gonna
look at him. He's giving it his thought.
I don't like the Chex Mix, but if there's one part that I like about it, it's probably gonna be the pretzels. Yeah.
Awesome.
But no, it's not a good snack.
Any additional comments that you guys would like to make?
We're really humbled to be running for SGA co-president. We love this community so much, and we've been fortunate enough to experience all of the vast opportunities that it has to offer for the students. And we really just want to give back to the community to sort of return the favor and try and chip away at some portion of what it's given to us, because we really are so grateful. And we also want to ensure that all the students here are able to have the same great experience that we've had. And we're running because we feel we're two of the best people to do that here. We're really honored at the opportunity, the thought of being able to serve all of the students, all of you. Feel free to approach us and ask us any questions you may have, or just introduce yourselves and say hi. We're looking forward to get to know you all better.
Like Xander said, we're honored to run for SGA co-presidents. I'd like to thank Jason for taking time out of his day instead of going on break early to stay here and interview us. I'd like to wish good luck to Mason and Reed, and we'll see you two at the debate.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Jason.